All right, I think we're all set. YouTube is up and running. The presentation is being shared. Do we have anybody else in the waiting room? Anybody can see?
When I click on YouTube, I don't see it, but
They
maybe I'm
say it's
not.
going to be like
sure.
a minute delay.
Okay.
I do, the screen is open over here, so I can see that the presentation is being shared, and I see us as well. You see it now? I'm in the studio, so that's why I can see it. Maybe on the public screen, it's a minute delay.
Okay. I don't see it yet, but I believe you.
Okay, but let me know. Otherwise, we'll have to start all over again. Okay. All right, guys. And you guys can still see I'm sharing the screen. You see the presentation, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it in this mode. Instead of going to presentation mode, I don't want to mess anything else up. Okay. It says sound is good. You can go to all right, let's start the meeting. All right, everybody. All right, good evening. Welcome to Garden Hills Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Garden Hills Go Team to order at 5:15 p.m. I will act in the capacity of interim Go Team chair for this meeting. Our first order of business is to appoint an interim secretary and call roll. I would like to volunteer to be our interim secretary for this meeting.
I can do it for this meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Do you have the role though?
I can pull it up. If I tell, I'm pretty much going to the Garden Hills webpage for our current members.
Okay.
And it's under community and then Go Team.
Sure. Hold on.
And I did get a confirmation that we are live over there on YouTube now.
Okay. Yep, I see the role. So if you are present, please say here. Simon Davis. I saw you.
Here.
Okay. Jean Moore, present. Taylor Hill.
Present.
Ms. Johnson.
Present.
Mr. Willoughby.
Present.
Ms. Grant.
Present.
John Coppage.
Here.
And Ms. Carlson.
Here.
All right, we are all here. We have enough to make a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Oh, so that puts me. So this team will only be able to take official action if there's a quorum present. We already have confirmed that we do have a quorum. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Would you show us the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion to approve.
I second.
A second. Thank you. Are there any amendments to the agenda? All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand so the secretary can record your vote.
Aye.
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 All right, thank you.
All opposed, please say nay and raise your hand. Please say abstain or raise your hand. Any abstentions? We will now move to filling vacant seats and the open community member seat. Before we begin this process, I'd like to remind the GO team of the following. The principal brings forth the nominations for the vacant and open community seats. All GO team members have only one vote per seat. Individuals filling a seat will serve until the conclusion of that seat's term. Individuals filling an open seat will serve for a full 2-year term. Upon approval, individuals are immediately full GO team members and may join the meeting. We will begin by filling our vacant seats. These are seats in which will be vacant prior to the end of the seat's term. Individual appointed to the seat will serve until the end of the seat's term. I have the following nominations for the GO team's vacant seats and my rationale for the nomination. We don't have any vacant seats except for the community member.
Yeah. Do we
I
have a
have a name.
community member to appoint?
I do. 1 second. You only see my presentation, is that correct?
Yeah, we're still on the agenda.
Okay. All right. I nominate Mario Walker to fill the vacant position of the community member. Does anyone have any comments or discussion about this nominee?
Who is this?
Mr. Walker is a parent currently here at Garden Hills. He's very active. He, during, I believe, Teacher Appreciation Week, he worked to have catering for the teachers out in the atrium. Very active, very supportive community member for sure.
Is he here?
He is not present, but doesn't have to be present in order to be nominated.
But he is willing, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Do you know what age his kids are, just out of curiosity?
Say it again.
What grade levels his children are in, or child?
Third.
Okay.
Third.
And he had a fifth grader last year who he helped
Yes.
us with our fifth grade celebration.
Awesome. Well,
Okay.
I motion to approve this nominee.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Thank you for your feedback. We will now vote on the nomination for the position of vacant seat, community seat. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. Thank you. Go back to the presentation. We'll now move to electing Go Team officers and representatives. Before we begin the nominations, I'd like to remind the Go Team of the following. Nominations do not have to be seconded. A member may nominate themselves. A member may nominate more than one person for any position. A member may decline a nomination during the nomination process. Members may not have served more than 2 consecutive terms in the same officer position in the same school. Nominees do not have to leave the room during the nomination period or when a vote is taken. If there is more than one nominee per elected office, each nominee will be offered an opportunity to share why they should be elected to the seat. The newly elected officers will assume their positions starting at the conclusion of the meeting and serve until June 30th. All voting members have only one vote per seat. First, we will elect the Go Team's chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities First, we'll elect the Go Team's chair. As a reminder, responsibilities of the chair include, but not limited to, leading Go Team meetings, working with the principal and Go Team to develop meeting agendas, ensure every Go Team member has the opportunity to be heard, monitoring team compliance. I will now open the floor to receive chair nominations.
Will you just go back to the previous screen so we can see all the officers real quick, just so people know what we need to elect? Thank you.
So we'll nominate a chair, vice chair, secretary, and our cluster representative. So for people who aren't familiar with that, we will have members from each school Go Team to represent our cluster, and we'll attend those meetings.
Thank you.
So for the chair, do we have any nominations?
Ms. Moore, you want to do it again?
I cannot. I've done it 2 years in a row. I would
Okay.
happily do it, but I cannot. Thank
Okay.
you.
Any newbies want to jump in and be a chair? Well, I'm going to nominate Katie Carlson. Can I nominate in this meeting? I can.
Think so.
Would you also nominate Katie if it were you?
What about Mr. Willoughby?
Mr. Willoughby, do you accept?
I accept.
Oh, thank you. Try to curb your enthusiasm.
Sorry, I accept.
If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for a chair seat. The nomination for the chair seat is Mr. Willoughby. At this time, I will offer each chair nominee the opportunity to explain why they are the best candidate for the position. Other Go Team members may ask the nominees question before voting. You have anything, Mr. Willoughby?
No, not really.
You'll do a
Do you
great
have
job.
any questions
I'll
for
do a
Mr.
job.
Willoughby? All right. Please raise your hand to vote for your choice of chair for our Go Team. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. Congratulations, Mr. Willoughby. You will serve as the Go Team chair for this school year. We will now elect the Go Team's vice chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the vice chair include, but not limited to, ensuring the Go team follows parliamentary procedure, working with the principal and chair to develop meeting agendas, acting as a chair if the chair is not present. I will now open the floor to receive vice chair nominations.
I'll do vice chair. If nobody else wants it.
Any other nominations? If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for vice chair. The nomination for vice chair is Jean Moore. At this time, I will offer each vice chair nominee an opportunity to explain why they are the best candidate for the position. Other Go team members may ask the nominee questions before voting. Ms. Moore, you have anything?
Well, I can help Mr. Willoughby with whatever he needs.
That's awesome. Any questions for Ms. Moore? All right, please raise your hand and vote for your choice of vice chair for our Go team. Any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand. Congratulations, Ms. Moore. You will serve as the Go team vice chair for this school year. Now we will elect the Go team secretary. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the secretary include, but not limited to, posting Go team documents, agendas, summaries, and minutes to the website, taking minutes at Go team meetings, ensuring the Go team is in compliance with Georgia open meeting laws. I will now open the floor to receive secretary nominations.
Coach Johnson?
All right, we have Coach Johnson as a nominee.
No. I'm learning. I don't know. I'm learning. This is my first time doing this, so I'm just kind of learning.
I've done this a lot, and you see how smooth I am. So, I mean, we're all learning. We're all learning. So, does that count as you're declining your nomination?
I would prefer to get my feet wet first before I do all of this. I don't know about posting on the website. Like, I'm learning.
Okay. Do you have a nomination, maybe?
What about Katie? She threw my name out there. I don't know. Just asking.
Interesting how that works.
She's
Ms.
not new.
Carlson,
I'm new. She's not new.
Do you accept that nomination?
Yes, sure.
Okay. If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We'll begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for the secretary seat. The nomination for secretary is Ms. Katie Carlson. At this time, I will offer each secretary nominee an opportunity to explain why they are the best candidate for the position. Other Go team members may ask the nominee questions for voting. Ms. Carlson, you have anything? Nope. Any members of the Go team have any questions for Ms. Carlson? All right. Please raise your hand and vote for your choice of secretary for our Go team. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. The votes are in. Congratulations, Ms. Carlson. You will serve as the Go team secretary for this school year.
So excited.
I can tell. Now we'll elect our Go team cluster representative. Cluster representatives may also hold an officer position, chair, vice chair, or secretary. As a reminder, the responsibility of the cluster representative include, but not limited to, attending all cluster advisory team meetings, approximately 3 per year, reporting back to the Go team on the cluster advisory team meetings. I will now open the floor to receive cluster representative nominations.
I'll do it again if no one is willing.
All right, we have Ms. Moore as a nomination. Anyone else? Just jumping at the bit.
Do we know when those meetings are?
I
And where?
don't think those dates are published yet. I don't
They're on
believe.
Zoom. They're via Zoom once every couple of months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you
All right.
interested?
I'm interested in attending, just to see
Okay.
how it goes.
I think that's are those open to the public for public viewing, Gene? Can't
I don't
remember.
know, but I would happily let Simon do them if he wants.
Okay. You want to just view it for year one?
Simon, if
And then
you can't attend, I will go in your place.
Okay.
All right, that's fine.
I'll put you down as the person, but if you have a conflict, I can probably make it work.
Sure. Okay.
Can you do me a favor? You know, I always have a hard time pronouncing your last name. Can you say it for me?
Simon's name or mine?
Me,
Yes.
Davis.
Da-
Simon
Davis?
Davis.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. All right. It is. I will now close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have one person being nominated, being considered for a cluster representative, which is Simon Davis. The nomination at this time, I will offer each cluster representative nominee an opportunity to explain why they are the best candidate for position. Other GO team members may ask the nominees questions before voting. We have anything? Nope. All right. Any questions for Mr. Davis? All right. Please raise your hand and vote for your choice for cluster representative for our GO team. Any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand. Congratulations, Mr. Davis. You will serve as the GO team cluster representative for this school year. Our next order of business is to set our GO team meeting calendar. Adhering to the agenda, we will now discuss the meeting calendar for this school year. As a reminder, our GO team is required to have at least 6 additional business meetings this school year. 4 of the meetings must permit time for public comment. Meetings cannot be held during the instructional day. Meetings must be live streamed and recorded, and meeting locations for hybrid meetings must be places which can accommodate the public. May I have suggestions or meeting dates and times? So just as a reminder, last year, Mondays kind of worked out well for us. I don't know if we caught a rhythm as in like third or fourth Mondays, but Mondays at 5 was our process for last year. But again, I'm flexible.
Will all of our meetings be virtual again this year?
I'm actually going to try to do a hybrid, just so if people want to come face to face, that's my goal. But definitely, it'll have a virtual component for every meeting. Yes. Nor will I, require any of the GO team members to come and be a part of the in-person component as well.
You said you would require us to come in person. Is that what you said?
No, I would not.
Okay.
If anything, I will just probably be at the school for anybody who wants to come. All right, do we have any suggestions for meeting dates and time?
Well, this looks like it's the 4th Monday. Well, actually, it's the 5th Monday of the month, the last Monday of the month. Should we do the same for September? The 28th?
Yeah.
Number 28th.
And then maybe October 26th. Or not that close together? I can't remember.
Well, I do have a couple of notes for us. Remember the first in late January to early February, we're going to review the budget allocation. That's that begins our budget season. And then in February, we'll have a draft of the budget. And the third meeting is pretty much the approval. So when we're thinking about our times, when we get into January, probably the later in the months, the better. So if we want to be consistent, then we may want to go like week 3 or week 4 of the months.
So maybe we do September, October, November, take December off, and then go to January, February, March.
Yes. So September 28th is what we have.
October 26th.
26.
October 26th.
November 30.
I already
That-
have on my calendar that is when the holiday show is.
So do I.
Perfect. Okay. So not the 23rd, right?
Or we can skip November and move it to December 7th.
Let's do that.
Okay. And then we'll be back on track in January for January 25th.
Yeah.
February 22nd.
Yes, that works.
And then March 22nd.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Now that we've determined our calendar, may I have a motion to approve the calendar?
I motion to,
approve or second.
I'll second that.
All opposed, please raise your hand. Any abstentions, please raise your hand. Please enter these dates into your personal calendar so you do not forget. We will now move to the next item of business in reviewing and updating or confirming our Go Teams public comment protocol. Public comment opportunities are available for Go Teams to hear from interested members of the community. From Section 3.4 of the Go Team Handbook, opportunities for public comment shall be provided at least 4 times in the school fiscal year and noted on the Go Teams webpage and meeting agenda. Go Team members will not provide responses or engage directly conversations with the public comment. Each Go Team member will determine a consistent method for receiving public comment and for parents and other citizens to sign up to address the team. At least 20 minutes of time will be allotted for the public comment, for the public to make comments at the meeting where public comment is permitted. And the public will receive at least 2 business days notice of the public comment protocol. I'm going to walk us through a few key decisions while we're making this as a team. As I read each one, feel free to share your thinking so that we can come to agreement together. First, let's consider which meetings will allow for public comment. At a minimum, we are required to offer public comment at 4 business meetings during the year. Would this team like to allow public comment at all meetings, every other meeting, or select meetings tied to major actions? I think last year was 4. But
Yeah, I
we
don't think
did
we've ever had any issues with allowing public comment.
right.
So, I mean, we could easily just allow it at all meetings.
I wouldn't mind. Our rationale last year was not the January one when we were doing a lot of the work in terms of like our priorities and things of that nature. But you know, I'm okay with all of them.
Yeah, maybe we could just skip the one that we think the meeting will be the longest. Is that the January one?
That's probably the January one.
Or all? I'm fine with either way.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear. Have we had public comment in any previous meetings or?
Yes, we have public comment as an option in the previous meeting. You have to have four. 4 out of the 6 have to have public comment. And it runs very similar to the APS board meeting, where the public are allowed to come up and just address the board, and then the board can't respond. And so it'll be the same type of situation. We'll give the people who sign up for public comment this link, and not the YouTube public link. They'll actually have this link so that they can have their time when that time on the agenda comes.
In my 2
understand that.
years, the only time there was public comment was when there was talk of us moving schools.
Okay.
That was
Interesting.
the only meeting that there really has been public comment. But I think if something does come up, it never takes that long, and it is a nice option to have.
And they also have limited time to talk also, correct?
Right. They
That's
only
correct.
have
So it's-
maybe 2 minutes total.
Yeah, 2 minutes total and 20 minutes of the agenda. So I'm in favor of all. I see a lot of heads nodding. So are we gonna go over all for public comment?
That works.
Yes, that's
Works for
fine.
me.
Okay. Next, how will individuals sign up or let us know when they want to speak? This could include options such as online sign up form, email a specific person, or sign up in the meeting. What process feels clear and accessible for our school community? What I would not want to do is during the meeting. I would definitely like to have some kind of process where they've had access and maybe like 10, I guess based on the math, 10 slots, and the first 10 slots fill up.
Real quick, Dr. Edwards, is that on the
Mhm.
next slide? Because I can't see it, the requirement or what yeah, okay, thanks.
Maybe in the Garden Hills Gab, could put it as one of the links in there.
Okay. And so we'll just have like do we have something already in our Google Suite for APS that we can use for scheduling, or do we want to just do a sign up genius? Or do we want to email a specific person on the team? We'll put that on the website, say email this person 2 days prior. Well, it'll probably have to be a week before the meeting so that they can get the link 2 business days before the meeting.
Yeah, who writes the Garden Hills Gab?
Well, it hasn't been, you mean from the PTA?
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure who, but I know during the PTA when they call out, there is a representative that speaks. So we could just reach out to our president and let them know to add that to the newsletter.
okay.
And so do we want to do, once we give that to them, we want to give them like a sign up genius link to add there and just have that as a standing process?
I say yes, because we can put in all the dates and they can choose once it closes, it's closed.
Perfect.
That's an easy
And
thing to
then
set up.
so we'll do both. We'll do the letter. Obviously, that's more internal, but we want members of our community, the broader community, to be able to participate. So we'll put that same link on the website so people will have access to it. Okay. So website as well as the PTA newsletters. So we just said every meeting, we'll do the sign up genius. I think a week out, 7 days prior to the meeting date will be the deadline. Each person will have 2 minutes to speak. I kind of like the end in terms of when we'll have, or rather it be either at the beginning or I think the end, because at that point they would have heard everything that we were discussed. So they may come in with some ideas that they want to share, but now they've also heard the meeting and now it'll make their comment a little bit more complete.
Agree.
Okay. So we'll have it at the end. And is there anything else you'd like to add to our public comment protocol? All right. Thank you for that discussion. Based on what we've outlined, we have the components needed to establish a public comment protocol. May I have a motion to adopt the public comment protocol?
I motion to adopt the public protocol.
Second,
I second.
Second.
all in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. Now we will determine our Go Team meeting norms. We'll begin by reviewing the initial Go Team meeting norms. This is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members from the public present are here to quietly observe. We will be fully present. We will follow the agenda as noticed to the public and stay on task. We will be respectful of each other at all times. We will be open-minded. We will invite and welcome contributions of every member and listen to each other. We will respect all ideas and assume good intentions. We will approach differences of opinion with curiosity. Does anyone have any changes to these norms? May I have a motion to adopt these norms for our Go Team?
I motion to adopt.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. We will now move to discussion items of the agenda. Next, we're going to discuss stakeholder engagement. As a charter system, the decisions of the Go Team makes and shapes our school's future. And the best decisions come from hearing from diverse voices within our school community. When we bring families, students, staff, and our community into the work, not just into the audience, we get stronger ideas, better outcomes, and a shared vision we can all stand behind. Here's the challenge. We're going to look at 4 groups: families, students, staff, and community. For each one, we'll answer 3 questions. Inform, what's fun or unexpected way to keep them in the loop? Input, what's a meaningful way to get their ideas and feedback? And 3, invite, How can we bring them into the work, not just the audience? Let's be creative. So for families, how can we inform, input, and invite students and then the community?
I mean, I think over communication is always helpful and from a variety of different ways. Seesaw
make
is
sure there's
good,
always-
but yeah,
Sorry.
no, go.
Oh, I was just gonna say we can make sure we always have teachers and parents are always accessible to each other. We always have that line of communication where if there's something that needs to be addressed, we have easy access to either the parent or the teacher.
One thing that I've gotten some pretty good feedback, and it was something that was mentioned last year, was to kind of open up the messenger part of Infinite Campus and kind of leverage that a little bit more often. And so I would like to keep that going in addition to our Seesaw communication. And that could, technically that's for families and students, because I can click on it and set the students. Obviously, we're in a K-5 space, but we do have some students who have their cell phones. Not during school hours, though.
I'm interested from the teacher's perspective and you, Dr. Edwards, in just the class curriculum night and how many people actually showed up and how well attended that was. I don't know if you keep numbers. From my perspective, it seemed a lot less than past years, but that might just be the classrooms I was in.
I don't have the numbers, to be honest with you, but I do know the numbers just went down as the grade levels went up, unfortunately. And we kind of see that as a trend, like in the K through 12 spectrum, unfortunately. So as I walked around the building, the lower grades were definitely well attended. And I did like the balance between the traditional and the DLI side. But as they went up in grade, we definitely, it was a clear drop off as we went up. Or like on a DLI kindergarten room, it was like standing in the room only. But the 5th grade traditional side was kind of thin. So
is that what the teachers felt as well?
I wouldn't. I haven't necessarily got their feedback in that. So teachers, how do you feel? Because
Yeah, I would say it is low. It is lower. Like I taught 1st grade my first year at Garden Hills, and the room was packed out. And then being in 5th grade last year, we had a handful of parents come. This year we had slightly a little bit more, but still very low numbers compared to lower grades. But that's kind of typical for upper grades, like Dr. Edwards said.
Well, you were in my room and there were 17 of the 36 families there. So that's the most I've ever had.
Okay, good to hear.
And then we had in 1st grade in our classrooms, we had a full house. We didn't have enough seats. So we had at least 24 people there. And we had a full session the first time, the second session, not as much, but the first session was completely full.
Coming from a specialist position, I got mixed feedback from just teachers because they just talked to me. So I kind of heard what he said about just not being as packed out just across the board, I thought, based on what people just shared with me. So
one thing, just to be reflective and think about how to get better. One of the best practices is to send out notification for any event at least 2 weeks prior and do a repeat at least 3 times over that 2 weeks. So that's something that we can kind of own as a standard practice whenever we have an event, to make sure that we notice it 2 weeks prior and have it repeated at least 3 times in that 2-week period. So we said a lot of stuff for our boxes. Anything, do we feel like through our discussion, is there any box that we kind of left blank?
I was just thinking with students also making sure it's kind of more on the teachers, but I feel like sometimes we send out messages on Seesaw school-wide or send home things in the orange folders, but we don't actually communicate it that much with the students. So it just kind of goes over their head. And then if the parents might not know about it, so also keeping them in the loop, because even bringing up curriculum night, a lot of them didn't even know what it was, when it was, and then keeping them in the loop also can keep the parent in loop if they can remind the parent as well. So I think just even having those conversations with students in the classroom about what we're sending home, or reminding their parent to be on the lookout for a message that the school's sending out, just to keep the kind of loop all connected.
So maybe one way in which we could do that could be like through GTV. Yeah, so we have something in the,
Yes,
because that's pretty
definitely.
much, yeah, we have them captured right there. They're all into GTV in the mornings. So we can start passing that kind of information over to that team and adding it. And for those who don't know, that's our morning announcements. We do our morning announcements live, Grizzly Television.
Side note, can the substitutes access GTV? Because I've heard that currently in second grade, they are not getting it in the English only side because they can't access it. So just making
typically,
sure
yeah,
substitutes can access it, because those children currently are getting it bi-weekly.
yeah, typically in that case, they would combine into the one room, because every teacher has a partner. So during the announcements, they should be combining for that 5 minutes, and then they'll go back out. That's typically the process that we do. If that's not happening, I'll monitor that and make sure it does happen. It's kind of hard to give the substitute access because it's a Teams link, and they would need to be able to, log into the board and so on and so forth. So that's more of they wouldn't have access to it naturally. It's
Can
probably
we
more natural to bring together in a room.
can we be sure that we say that explicitly to teachers about combining when there's a sub,
Yes,
please? Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah, and maybe just, I mean, I know this is isolated, but like Mr. Willoughby said, make sure all teachers have the same understanding of that, but also for a long-term plan with an extended sub, we might need to come up with a solution as well, because going every day to another classroom might be an extra transition not needed for the kids and teachers.
Understood.
But the kids love it, which is why I am aware they are not watching it every time, because they always have something to say about it. So
It's a big deal. It's a
mhm.
big deal. They hold me accountable for days that I'm not there as well. So it is a big deal.
I'm wondering, what is the feedback from parents about ways to get you informed input and what we're missing or overlooking or not seeing?
I feel like there's a lot of communication, which is good, and it's upticked more this year or maybe even last year. Um, I sometimes feel like Seesaw can get lost. So I do think like a weekly message from the principal that sort of recaps like the most important things coming up, or the most important things that have been sent on Seesaw, because the way a parent sees Seesaw is we get like 5 different messages, and sometimes we don't even know how long to scroll back up. And every so often, even I, who feels like I'm very on top of it, misses some sort of announcement.
Okay.
So I think like you said, using that Infinite Campus Messenger to like highlight the key things that do go home on Seesaw throughout the week is helpful.
Okay.
And then
I
parents
agree.
that also have multiple Seesaw accounts, things can get lost that way too.
I agree. As a parent, Seesaw does get a little, sometimes it's a flood of messages. You get bus routes, you get things that are kind of unrelated to your specific child. So it does get a little more washed out at times, but it's very informative at the same time. But when there's a message specifically from both my daughter's teachers, I know to go in and go directly to their separate section and read those as well. It can be helpful.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I think it's helpful. I just think we need an
Oh, yeah,
additional
I agree.
source that's more organized to recap it and summarize it.
Yeah, I agree.
And for everybody who's known me, since we've been together, definitely trying to be transparent as possible. Something that has lived in the atmosphere for a while is this bi-weekly newsletter that never has gotten legs and taken off. So that I think if we can get that going from the school's perspective, not just from the PTA perspective, I think that will also add to some that highlight that we talked about. So we'll just got to get committed and get that done.
I would add a couple of points. I don't have an answer as for the best way to get the information out, but I know a lot of dads that don't even have Seesaw, not to throw them all under the bus, but they have no desire to have Seesaw. So how you get to anyone other than mom, I'm not entirely sure. But one suggestion just quickly now, and I think I've heard there is a plan for this, but the front screen on the drive-through lane that currently, can we get that screen updated and give that some kind of like TV screen where it pumps out different things that are happening a little bit more frequently, or a little bit. I mean, a lot of people sit in that drive-through lane for a long period of time. There has to be a way of putting things on there that people can see.
Yeah. Well, that thing right there is antiquated, to say the least. So
Yeah.
we do have plans to upgrade that one. It's just in the works right now, but we do have plans to update it. But in the meantime, we can definitely do a good job of keeping what we have up to date. And that's something that we got to own. And we can also use that as our vehicle of putting things out 2 weeks in advance to make sure that the larger community is aware of it. So we can definitely do that.
And actually, sorry, Johnson, you can go.
Well, it had to do with, because I'm not a parent, and so I'm not 100% sure. I know that there's like the Garden Hill Gazette. Is that just an internal PTA letter to us, and then the bi-weekly would be something to the community? I'm trying to understand the difference.
So the Gazette is that's the name of the document from PTA, right? I think what we're saying, I think what I hear us saying is that there should be something from the school side of it that pushes out some form of communication on a regular basis as well, in addition to. So more like a and versus a or type situation. But make it, like the PTA wouldn't have like a counselor's corner, right? And so every time we'll have something from Miss Redmond, something from something from Miss Patton, a message from the principal, so on and so forth, and just make it kind of standardized so they can know what to expect every 2 weeks, and we'll just keep it up to date from that perspective.
Speaking of updating things, our voice or the school's voicemail, or when you call the school, it still has Miss Perot, and it still talks about like summer school and things like that.
We addressed that specifically this summer.
Because when I had to call Friday, as I was trying to figure out what had happened after the buses left, that was still the voicemail I received.
Okay.
I can try again. I can try again tomorrow and let you know, and we can
No
troubleshoot
problem.
that.
That was something that we spoke about specifically this summer, because that doesn't make any sense to talk about summer school and we haven't hosted it in 2 or 3 years because we've been under renovation. So that is not acceptable. So we'll get that done.
I can try making the phone call again to see, but that was my experience Friday.
Well, I doubt it happened. I doubt anything. Thanks for helping us out, but I doubt that. That's quite disappointing, to be honest with you, because I brought that up specifically this summer. It's quite disappointing. But we'll address that as well. Because the plan also is to give the options, in the English and Spanish. Press 1, press, that was supposed to be executed by now.
Yeah, that
Okay.
would probably be helpful for some families.
Mm-hmm. All right. And that would be that could probably, when we're filling this form out, that definitely could go under the community, because anybody can access the website. We have an updated website, revamped this year. The phone, giving people more options is the plan. So press 1 for the social worker, press 2 for the counselor, so that the main office won't be like the switchboard, and it'll allow the community to get to the person who they actually need to speak to relatively fast. So that's the plan.
That's great.
Right. Anything else for any of the columns or cells on this sheet? All right, everybody. We will now move to the information items, and first, the principal's update. Great news, if you have not heard. Some of our scores have started to come in from last semester from our testing season. Right now, only math is official right now. Language arts, we have there's a delay. Anytime there's a new test, there's always a delay in releasing the scores. So we're not expecting those scores to come out until around late November, December-ish. But for our math, we are number 1 in the district for year-over-year gains. So about close to 16-point increase for grades 3 through 5. We are number 1 in the district, grades 3 through 5 for growth. What that means is that based on a kid's previous performance, there's an expectation for them to grow a certain way. And that is exactly what we did with our kids. And we did it so well in 4th grade that we are number 1 in the state for 4th grade math growth. So all those things are great news. And we have some other data that we're continuing to break down as it's being released, but huge gains in our DLI program as well. I think about a 19-point gain from last year to the previous year to last year. So we are on a roll. We also was recognized as the biggest gain year over year for culture. We used the Gallup climate survey to measure school culture. So we were nominated, we was recognized as having the largest gain in culture. So those are all things that I'm definitely proud of, and want to make sure that the community is aware of the good stuff that's happening here at Garden Hills. Next, we'll talk about APS personal electronic device policy. So starting in the previous school year, students are asked to keep their phones up and away during the school day. We'll go ahead. I pushed out this information a little bit earlier in the year through Infinite Campus, simply because we just saw an uptick of people with the smartwatches. And so if you read the policy, the smartwatch is specifically banned. So, but we understand that, we have walkers and so on and so forth, things happen after school. So we're not in a situation where, we're just going around looking for stuff. So just make sure that it's out of sight when they bring it to school and not used. So we have plenty of technology that if you need the technology, we have it for you. And we're also, trying to work to limit screen time at that. So there's really no need for them to have it out at all. We'll take care of everything that you need. So let's just keep those things away. Okay. Any announcements? This is for anyone else. And then I was going to read this to you.
What is happening out beside the field? Where in the lower parking lot?
Oh, that is a project that I was told has been like 5 years in the making, to add a field house down there for when the field is in use, including recess, that will have 2 restrooms and a water fountain as well as some storage. So we'll be able to keep some of the equipment that PTA has bought in the past, and it's an issue. Keep taking it back and forth, so it should be able to stay down there for the kids' use. Also, it will reduce that crossing back and forth over the street to get back into the building. And so kids, if you're in a situation where they have to use the restroom while they're out there, they can just use the restroom right there and not have to cross that street. So that is huge. So that is going on, and we have a 130-day window from start to finish, and that clock has started. The clock has started, so we're rolling. So it's going to get worse before it gets better in terms of our parking. So we are adding some more additional parking spaces in the back behind the gym. In the meantime, but yeah, it's getting tight for sure. But I was off campus today for a training at another elementary school, and you think we're bad? They were pretty. We were parking all over the place to get there. So people can always have it worse. All right, remember to complete your training as outlined in section 2.14 of the Go Team Handbook. Go Team members are required to complete orientation within 1 year of joining the team and must be renewed every 4 years. Failure to complete this training will result in your removal of the Go Team. So let's make sure that we go and take care of all of our training, and then contact the Go Team office if you have any questions. All right, everyone. Anyone have any extra announcements?
Hey, this is John. I don't have an announcement, and it's definitely not anything covered on the agenda, but I've got my eldest daughter finished Garden Hills last year. Excuse me, she finished Garden Hills a few years ago. She finished Sutton last year, and she's in North Atlanta now. And I've got my middle daughter in Sutton, just kind of explaining to you guys kind of the lay of the land here. Sutton has done a really good job of following up with the parents to get parents to complete reviews for the school, because they're noting that the reviews are very dated. There's a website called Great Schools, and I think there's one other I'm happy to share with you guys. So that prompted me to look at Garden Hills. It also seemed like the review activity was pretty light and could use updating. And so maybe just like Dr. Edwards, potentially you could, in a follow-up newsletter or something, prompt parents to submit reviews. I mean, obviously, on the expectation they'd be good reviews. I'm a community member, I'm a neighbor, also a parent. I mean, there's various reasons why we want, we think Garden Hills is a great school. We want that reflected and shared with in the community and with folks who are moving into the community to know they should be comfortable sending their kids there. So that's why it's important to me. So I just want to encourage everybody here to consider, but also we can prompt parents in the community to share, good reviews for Garden Hills.
Yeah, I can most. So that's the great schools. Is that what you
That's
said?
the one that I submitted a review. I actually submitted one for Garden Hills today. I've done the same for Sutton, and I'm
Okay.
still we're new to North Atlanta, so I don't want to review it yet. But I just thought, hey, this is a good idea. Looked into it, and yeah, as I was told, they were pretty stale for Sutton, and now you've got a flurry of activity of your parents reviewing, and it's moving the needle, which I think is a good thing. I noted when I reviewed Garden Hills today, someone completed a review a couple years ago. Like the current score is 7 out of 10, which is good. The top elementaries are like 9. One of the parents commented a couple years ago that they couldn't believe the score was a 5. It didn't reflect the quality of the school and the instruction and teachers and all that kind of stuff. So like I think hand on heart, if I were to, I rated 10 out of 10. I mean, I think this is a great school, and I think I'd like to see us I'd like to see us move towards at least a 9 where the other elementary schools are rated.
I
Mr.
agree.
Dean,
I was
that-
the most recent
oh,
one
go ahead.
too to put a review. So I think it's you and I are the only ones within the last 5 years.
That topic came up during curriculum night. I had a first grade parent, who asked me about our score. So that came up. I did refer them to our official score, which is our CCRPI score. But I do know that, that's another way of navigating to more official data. If people casually Google, move into an area and they'll Google a school, that great schools will come up. So that is important data in order to interact with the public in general. So I think that's an awesome idea. So I'll reach out to Dr. Merriweather over at Sutton, who has been deemed like the greatest communicator of all time. So I would definitely reach out to him. And so Gene, you said there's been an uptick in communication. I've already been working with him with some of the things that he does and some of his techniques. So definitely, we don't mind sharing. We have a good relationship, so we will take that and go for it.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
hammering
that's great.
that.
And I
and some
think
recent.
we could.
Go ahead, Gene.
I was just going to say we can bring it up at the PTA meeting this Friday as well. Those are definitely parents that are hopefully going to leave great reviews, so and willing to do so.
Yeah, and Dr. Merriweather has really been pushing that. And kind of a funny anecdote here to end on. I did a review last night. I didn't mention it to my wife, and then I go and look, and she had done the prior review. So we said pretty much the same thing. So a little bit of redundancy, but we're pumping the score up.
Well, I appreciate it. And like I'll get with Dr. Merriweather to get that done. Okay. All right, everybody. We have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
A
A
motion
motion to adjourn.
Second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay and raise your hand. Any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand. All right, everyone, this meeting is adjourned at 6:23 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Our first one.
All right,
Have
thank
a
you.
great night,
Thank you. Take
everybody.
care. Bye. Thank you. Bye.